topic today is teaching the newest of the new baseball and softball players how to handle ground balls. There is plenty of instructional material available for anyone to learn the correct techniques. But the fact is, the basic body motions for fielding ground balls are not at all natural and are difficult to learn. Describing the steps, or even showing your child how to do it, isn't enough if she has no experience. In this video essay, we'll show some methods of practice that can help your little one develop smooth infielder's motions before frustration or apathy can take hold. A training program for your beginner should also build confidence that he can handle any ground ball hit at or near him, otherwise the game won't be much fun. But judging the bounce of a ball and deciding what to do in a timely manner doesn't come naturally either, and a new player will instinctively do the opposite of what he should. With a progression of drills we'll describe, even a very young player can learn to react correctly in every situation, so she stands out there craving for the ball to be hit to her so she can make the out. The little low and outsiders are now going to show you how they've been trained, back to when they were toddlers. The first thing a fielder needs to learn is how to position her body. Doing it properly is unnatural and not intuitive, but a fielder must learn how to take this position with suppleness in her frame, which is necessary not only to perform the motions repeatedly, but execute them smoothly even when situations demand alterations to the ideal form. The steps to assume the proper basic position, as we all know, are wide base, butt down, hands forward, and glove down. Most coaches say that to watch the ball into your glove, you need a flat back, parallel to the ground, and we should see the top of your cap from the dugout. But with a beginner, you need to encourage him to stick his chest out and look forward, otherwise you'll find that he simply bends at the waist, which is poor technique. Here are the little ones showing the more comfortable but improper bend. Also, when you tell a player to get his butt down, he might squat and reach for the ball between his legs, because that's the easiest way to do it. Again, have the player push his chest out to help get his hands forward and avoid these mistakes. It still takes practice to feel comfortable. A child is also likely to grab at the ball with the palm down instead of presenting the palm to the ball with fingers down. We eradicate this inclination by training with no glove, and doing drills where the child shows you her palms and fingers pointing down until it becomes a habit. Reaching forward for the ball is very important as well, because adjusting for a ball that might turn at the last split second and catching it cleanly is done with a much greater degree of success with your hands starting out rather than close to your body. Notice all this training is done at first only with rollers, balls that stay on the ground, the worm burners, because handling a bounce is a big step. We will want the player to field most bounces with the same technique as with a roller, but this can be very difficult at first, and we'll get to why and what to do about it in a minute. Before that though, we stay with rollers while we teach the footwork. It's not complicated. Run to where the ball will be, square himself in front of it, and then assume the position he already knows. With repetition, he will learn to read the direction and speed of the ball so he can get there and get set to field it not too early and giving the runner more time as the ball rolls, and not too late, making it hard to get the glove down in time to catch the ball cleanly. Make sure the child knows to run first, then assume the fielding position only when she gets there. Just have her run naturally. Practice charging slow balls and running to balls hit to the side in a banana-shaped route to get in front of it. Don't let her backhand the ball so she isn't inclined to make it a habit out of laziness. Being in front of the ball allows it to roll up her arm or hit her in the chest if she misses it with her glove, whereas with a missed backhand, you've got a ball in the outfield. And if she always tries to get in front of it, then with repetition, when she really does have to backhand, she'll know and it will come naturally.
Good. Good.
Now, once they've developed these basic skills, it's time to handle the bounces. We have 3 ways the ball can bounce to the fielder: the long hop, or easy hop, the short hop, and the toughest of all, the in-between hop. For all but the long hop, the key is to approach the bounce exactly the same way as the rollers: wide base, butt down, hands forward, glove down. Make sure they understand the glove is always under the ball. Long hops, as just mentioned, are an exception because the ball bounces early, then flies up above his waist and he can just grab it, assuming the position for ground balls isn't even necessary. When the ball is flying toward her up in the air but will bounce at her feet though, the untrained fielder will be inclined to keep her body erect while watching the ball in flight, and then try to reach down for it as it falls. But it's quite difficult to bend your body all the way down to the ground while the ball descends, trying to time it and track its flight. A player might even flinch once she realizes it's going to bounce. That's one of the motions we commonly call letting the ball play you. Teach your player that when the ball is bouncing to take the same body position as for all the rollers you've sent him. Then throw him short hops, which hit the ground a little bit in front of him and go right into his glove. Easy. Build confidence. If he keeps flinching, tell him to just put the glove on the ground and not even worry about catching the ball. Then when he sees he does catch it, it will become a habit. That's what you're trying to develop, the habit of always keeping the glove under the ball. Pulling your arm up to snatch a ball is immeasurably easier than reaching down for it from above. But that's not intuitive, and you might not even learn this from watching highly skilled players. When you see a fielder who catches everything that bounces in front of him or right at his feet, it might seem he bent down with the ball and knew exactly how far to reach down for it. But in reality, every time he went below it first and then came up. It's so quick it's not noticeable unless you're looking for it, but the distinction is significant. So, only give your little ones rollers or short hops at first. Don't even throw any long hops. Once short hops are mastered, move on to the in-between hops. Even if he's good at short hops, these might still revive the reaction of flinching or staying erect. He may anticipate a high bounce. If he's standing up and the ball does come up for him, he can still frequently get handcuffed, meaning he misjudges exactly where the ball is, and since he's not coming up for the ball or his arms aren't extended, he can't adjust in time, so it hits the back of his glove or arms and he's not able to catch it. And when it bounces but stays low, it will go right between his legs. Encourage them, as you did with the short hop, to put the glove on the ground and don't worry about catching it. Tell them to ignore the instinct to stay up. They'll catch it every time, and with repetition the motion will become a habit. In fact, for the demonstrations of catching short hops and in-between hops with bad form for this video, it was quite difficult getting the little low and outsiders to do it wrong, as they've eradicated those actions from their muscle memory. Watch now as the little low and outsiders continue to demonstrate catching the in-between hop with proper technique. Glove under the ball. The in-between hop is, by its nature, the hardest to catch, even with perfect technique, because you have to move your glove to meet the ball in the air while judging its flight off the last bounce in the shortest amount of time. But by practicing with the methods we've described, your little player will catch it, or at least knock it down, every time. Of course, any coach will tell you that with proper footwork and approach, and by judging the direction, speed, and bounce of the ball, a fielder should always take the ball on the short hop or long hop. And that's correct. But there are many situations where a player has to take an in-between hop. Ask a softball player who has the ball smashed to her from less than 60 feet away if she's got time to catch the ball where she chooses. Even a baseball shortstop with over 120 feet of room should have the confidence and capability to field the ball cleanly if he misreads the speed or hop. And finally, very often a throw from a teammate can come to you on an in-between hop, such as a bad peg to first base or to any infielder on a relay from the outfield. We take in-between hops all day because of the confidence it builds. It's a little like swinging a bat with a donut in the on-deck circle to make it feel lighter during your time at the plate. When you catch a bunch of in-betweeners, you feel like you can get the rollers, short hops, and long hops with your eyes closed. Although, of course, that's not recommended. These drills will turn your little ones into infielders, and they're easy to do even with very little space, such as in a grassy courtyard in your apartment complex. But when your fielder is ready to move on to backhands and left side stabs, learning the right-left step, catching it on the palm and not on the web, and funneling the ball and gripping the seams to prepare for the throw, they'll have their legs and hips and torso already well trained to carry them and make the play every time.